Hi guys, welcome to another video. No, we're not up on a hill today. Today we're down at the Caravan. Weather's starting to warm up now, so it is time to service the running gear on the Caravan. Now there are a lot of YouTubers out there that have brand new Caravans or nearly new, but like us, I'm sure there are others that have older Caravans that have to do those kind of jobs ourselves. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to be doing, refreshing, lubricating, checking, and all the safety aspects of all the running gear on the outside of the Caravan. So let's get on with it. Hi guys, right, well, first thing we need to do is have a look at the tools we're going to be using today. So as I said, we're going to be doing work on the running gear. So we'll start off at the front. We're going to need an axle stand. Always safe to have them. So when you do jack your Caravan up, put an axle stand under there so you know that it's going to be 100% safe. Second to that, I've got a trolley jack. You can use a normal jack, but I find these trolley jacks are really good, and they're strong, and they're really easy to use, and I prefer them to the wind-up ones you get with cars. Moving on from that, we'll need a winder for your corner steadies. I've got my cordless drill and one of these extensions. You can buy these online, or alternatively, if you don't have one of those, you will have one of these normal hand winders for your feet, because they need to be up before you do any work underneath. A wheel chuck, you need one of these because when you're working on one side, your Caravan's up, there's a chance it's going to start swinging and tipping, so make sure you put a wheel chuck under the other tyre on the other side. Obviously torque wrench, we're going to need that. Socket set, which is in here. Need a socket set for the work we're going to be doing. Wire brush for cleaning the drums, and some thread lock when we're putting the wheel nuts back on, so to ensure that they don't undo through the season. Okay, moving on from that, we're going to need some brake cleaner to clean inside the drums. We're going to need some silicone lubricant for the handbrake and various other things. And finally, we're going to need some copper grease as well to ensure that nothing ends up seizing, and it will get you through the season. So that's everything we're going to be using today. Right, so let's get started. Right, I'm now down at one of the corner steadies. I've got my silicone lubricant. I'm going to spray some of this on the actual winding thread, for want of a better phrase, just so when I do lift it up, it frees it up, it puts some lube in there, and so we know that bit's done. And also, while you're under here, have a good look underneath your Caravan, make sure there's no cracks, no wet patches, no breaks, and everything's looking okay. So I'm just going to do that, spray some lube on the winder, plenty on there, ready to wind it up. There we go. Right, so get our winder on there. And up it comes nice and easy. Right, I'm going to go round and do the rest. Right, so this one is seized on a bit because it's not been touched all winter, so we're just going to get the winder on it just to loosen it off, crack it off, and bring it up there. So what we'll do when we put the feet back down is we'll put some copper grease on it to prevent it from seizing. Okay, let's go. Right, so we've done the, I've got bits all over me, never mind. So we've got the feet up now. Before we put the feet back down, I'm going to spray them with a bit of copper grease just to prevent them seizing. It just gets plenty of lubrication in there as well, and you know, so they're going to perform all right throughout the season. So we're going to move on to the wheels and the hubs now. So we're going to start at this end and we're going to work our way around the van. So first things first, pop off the hubcap, for the want of a better word, and then what we need to do is we need to crack off the wheel nuts. Would help if you use the right size. These wheel nuts are a 19mm. I'm using a breaker bar for mine. You can use a normal wheel wrench if you like, but I find these breaker bars absolutely brilliant. They're nice and cheap. Get them on eBay and Amazon. I'm sure you can get them other places as well. So I'm just going to crack that off. So there we go. Right, they're loosened off now. So, right, what we need to do is we need to get the hydraulic jack underneath. Now, make sure that you jack it up on the chassis, not on the wheel assembly itself. Just make sure it's on, jacked up on the chassis, right behind there. So put mine there. Now take out the tyre savers we put in at the beginning of the winter, and then what we'll do is just pop round the other side, pop our axle stand underneath, so we know that we are safe working. Okay, so just pop the wheel nuts off now. Keep them in a safe place, because God forbid you don't want to lose any of them. Right, so that's the wheel nuts off. And that's the wheel out. So while you've got your wheel out, make sure you just go around and do a visual check to make sure everything's all right inside. The tyre itself is all right. These ones are only a couple of years old. So 0 to 18. So that's the second week of 2018. So we know we're all right till 2023 on these tyres. But make sure there's no cracks in the walls. Make sure there's plenty of tread on them. And yeah, that was looking all right, so we'll pop that over there. And while you're here, just have a visual look at everything that's in here. Yeah, make sure that your handbrake's working, because that's not moving at all. So we know that that's the handbrake's working on this. Right, I've just took the handbrake off, and we know that everything, there's absolutely nothing seized in there. So we know that everything's fine in there as it should be. And you can hear that slight grind on there. That means that the shoes are pressing up against the wheel hub like they should be. So there's plenty of room in there. I don't need to take that off. That's okay. Right, so I've just been to put the handbrake back on, and that wheel's now solid, so we know that everything's all right as it should be. So what we'll do, we'll just give it a bit of a clean up on the outside with a wire brush. Then we'll get our lubricant. Just give the inside a spray. And then we'll get our copper grease. We'll just spray the outside with copper grease. So we know that this side's fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop the tyre back on, and I'll see you shortly. So I've got the wheel back on. I put a bit of thread lock on the threads, and a bit of copper grease in there as well to prevent any seizing. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to drop the Caravan back down, and then we're going to torque the wheel nuts up. See you shortly. Right, steel wheels. The wheel nut settings for your torque settings are 88 Newton meters. So just need to wind that up to 70, 84. Right, so got that 88 Newton meters now. So what we need to do is just lock that off and then torque the wheel nuts down. Only hand tight your wheel nuts so the torque wrench can do the rest. And always to the click. Yep. Right, so that's them torqued up now. Just pop a bit of lube on them, just to protect them for the season. We will need to check them again before we go away, but for now we know that the torque settings are right. So if you've got steel wheels, it's 88 Newton meters. If you have alloy wheels, it's 122 Newton meters. So this side's done. I'm going to go around and do the other side. I'll see you shortly. Right, we're going to look at this end now. We've got our handbrake and we've got our jockey wheel. So what I'm going to do with the jockey wheel, I'm just going to spray a bit of lube on the sides and on the handle and on the winder, just to check that that's working all right. Yeah, everything's fine on there, so we know that's okay, but just lube it up so we know that it's right. And then underneath you've got your handbrake and your handbrake system with your well, shock absorber, for the want of a better word. So again, just get yourself under here, bit of copper grease to prevent anything from seizing up, and so it's then protected for the entire season. Okay, so you need to have a look at your electrical connector from your Caravan to your car for your lighting system. So what we'll do is just give that a bit of a spray, cleans all the crap out, and just do a visual check. Make sure it's not rusted anywhere. If it is, it'll need replacing. These are dead easy to replace. It's colour-coded wiring. There's diagrams online. If you just Google 12 volt lighting for Caravan, and it'll just bring up a diagram of where the wiring goes. But mine, it's okay. Spray it with a bit of lube, and then we're ready to connect it to the car. Right, guys. So we've done the hitch area now, so we know that that's okay for the season. The next thing we're going to move on is to the lighting system, all your exterior lights. Make sure everything's working, everything's legal as it should be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the lights on in the car, and then I'm going to get Danielle just to go around the back just to check the brake lights and the indicators for me. So I'll do that now. Indicators, darling.
Yep.
Other side.
Yep.
Brake lights.
Yep.
Okay, right. Right, so there we go. We just do a visual walk around check to make sure the marker lights are working at the back. Can you just come forward, darling? And we've got our marker lights at the front, and they're all working as well. So we know that all our lights on the Caravan are working. I did change all these to LEDs last year, so I know that LEDs are brilliant, and they'll just last forever. But it's always good to make sure that everything's right before you go away, so you're not met with any surprises. So yeah, that's that job done. Right, I've done the tyre and hub on this side, so I know that that's safe, and that's right for another season. Okay, so while I've got my brew, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a walk round visual check of the Caravan, make sure there's no protruding bits, there's nothing, no seals, that are loose, there's no metal bits sticking out, and all our locks are working as they should be. Now I'll put a link into our winter close down video up here, and it will show you how we protected our locks over the winter period. So so it keeps them lubricated, keeps them protected, stops them from rusting. So yeah, we'll do that. So checking your windows, make sure your windows are still closed, there's no cracks in them, all down your seals are fine, everything's fine on this side. Yeah, wandering around this side as well, everything's all right. All the seals are still okay. Yeah, windows again, and that one's open, I need to close that, see? Well spotted there. So yeah, everything's all right on that side. Nothing else protruding out that shouldn't be. All the seals and everything else are fine. All the trim is fine, stuck as it should be. The toilet locker door, yeah, that's okay, that works fine. Toilet window, bedroom window, yeah, everything's okay. Everything nice and sealed. Same around the back, grab handles, they're okay. Everything's all right on the back. Nothing coming out, all these, everything's secure. Registration plate secure. Yep, everything's secure on that side. Yep. And again, round this side, just make sure everything's okay. We know the door's working fine because we've been popping in and out. All your light and everything else is okay. Again, the trim, yeah, everything's fine. Windows, vents. Yeah. Okay, battery locker's fine. And yeah. So yeah, just done a check, just make sure everything's okay as it should be. Right, so that's all those jobs done now. Time for a well-earned brew, lovely sunshine. Now, this is how I service my Caravan, the running gear. It's probably not the same that a lot of other people do, but I think this is one of the safest ways of checking your Caravan, make sure everything's all right. If you're not too sure about doing it yourself, you know, take it to a dealership, that's fine, it's up to you. But I think this day and age, you know, finances being the way they are, if you can get it done yourself, then, you know, why not have a go? So as long as your running gear is okay and your hitch is okay and your lighting's fine, everything else should be okay. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, it would be great. And I will see you in the next video, which is going to be inside there. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be checking the entire 12-volt lighting system, and we're also going to be hooking up the water and checking the entire water system, getting the water heater going and giving it a clean and just making sure everything's right inside. So I will see you in that video. So from home with the Shackletons, wife behind the camera.
Hi.
Take care and bye bye.